right, everybody, welcome back. Today, let me turn down the music. I ain't gonna do all that. Turn down the music on my end. You'll still hear it the same volume. We're back again with another important video. I was watching my own videos. I watch my own videos for reference to make sure I'm on track. And we're gonna get straight into it because it's pretty straightforward. Everything I've been talking about over the past, since November, over a year now, has played out. This was from, let's see, what date was this exactly? 11, so January 20th, we're almost there, back to a year ago, 2023. Price was at 21K, but I've been making videos on this since October 2022. Right around the 15,600, estimating where we were going to go. But it was November that I started drawing this out. This January video is when I really put it all together. Weeks of analysis and weeks of analysis of the bump and run reversal bottom pattern. Okay, it's all there. The video is called "Nobody is Talking About This Bitcoin Bump and Run Reversal Pattern in Play." We pretty much did everything that I had mentioned in the past, and so I'm here to show everybody where we're at, and even in my own, for a few of my own accounts that I have open. I have multiple accounts open for different time periods, different phrases, different speeds of the market. Even my long-term accounts, I didn't stay faithful to a few of them, and I should have. And this is just a reminder that to stick with the plan. The plan has always been the same. We're going to go out to the weekly just to show you. I mean, I still have everything marked out there. And you compare it to the other video, the old video, switch screens, and that's what we're looking at. Even the time frame is pretty much pretty accurate. I was saying sometime around January or so, we'd start to see some price fizzling out. Now we have a definitive idea of what's going to happen over the next few months. As far as what's happening with the Bitcoin ETF, and an idea of when we're going to pull back and then go into the Bitcoin halving. So the idea is, right now at least, so we broke past the bump phase at 38K. All right, right around here we had some slight accumulation for a few weeks, and then we broke out convincingly over the next few weeks to 44K. Let's bring it back to the daily. Okay, accumulation for a few weeks, broke out convincingly to the 44K, and now we're accumulating in an ascending triangle or a symmetrical triangle, however you want to see it. Okay, now we're sitting at 42. But ultimately we're going to go back to the schematic. We're in the uphill run right now since we broke out of the bump phase at 38K. We're in the uphill run phase, and the uphill run phase ends at the well, I call it the final bull target. It's the final target for the current phase that we're in now. And we had this lead-in phase. We had the lead-in phase line, and we had the old market trend line, also giving us from the last bull run, giving us a level that we can stay consistent to. So we're looking at somewhere we're still looking at somewhere between 48K and 52K, and let's add a little bit. Let's add the golden pocket zone into here, and we'll even color it nicely. I mean, golden pocket is somewhere between 65% and 70%. You'll get some wicking action going into there either way, whether you're going up or whether you're going down. Okay, so we're going to go back in, and we're going to mark this off as we're going to color it gold. All right, to separate it from everything else. So if you want to just be instead of saying, oh, we're going to go somewhere between 618 and 786, usually the golden pocket zone is about right. And if my markings are right from the bottom at 15,600 or so, and the top of the market for the Coinbase chart at least, we're looking at 69,000. I mean, the market went somewhere between 69,000 and 69,400. So we're going to just estimate that we're going to go somewhere around 50K. And that's right in between my final bull target for the pre-halving. Okay, I don't need to yell about this. I don't need to scream from the top of the mountain. This body of work proves itself. I've been calling this out using the bump and run pattern for the past year. And I've made my successes in this as well, whether it's just Bitcoin or altcoins running with it. And you know, it works. And so what's going to come next? So after we get, so we're either getting, there's two possibilities going on here. We're gonna get a big dump back down to somewhere between, let's mark it out while we're here. We'll get a big dump down to somewhere between, typically, let's see, that's 70%. We can get a dump somewhere between, for now, I'm going to say between 35K and 31K. I mean, there's a possibility we even go down to, we can even pull all this back and go down to 28K. Okay, we have to keep that open as a zone of possibility. So what do you do in this instant? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting a short from 48K, and from 48K I'm going to have a my futures perpetuals long is going to have a liquidation price that's very high, maybe 70K at the highest. And then as we go down, the target's going to be, I'm going to start off letting my short somewhere between 35K and 28K. I think the market's going to be a sharp return. I think it's going to be a sharp return, whether we come from 50K down to somewhere in this zone, and then we're going to have the halving coming up. And I think I would like to say a month leading into the halving, we're going to start to trend back up. All right, and then early April, we should see somewhat of a return. But the halving, we should see a return back to where we were, somewhere near 50K. I think there's going to be a lot of accumulation going on between 30K and 50K, getting us ready for the final dip in the market. So I think we're ultimately, as you see in the pink lines, we're gonna have a breakdown from the top of the market once the ETF is approved in January, and a lot of information coming from BlackRock and SEC is showing that we should have an approval sometime in January, or we run up into January off of the final speculation phase. We get another delay, but we get our final little move up into 48K or so, and then we get they say, oh no, we're gonna wait until March, the final, which is the final deadline for all the 12 applicants ETF Bitcoin ETF applications. We get a move down in somewhat of a disappointment, and then we have somewhat of a cluster of bullish news going into the end of March and the whole month of April. But I think there's going to be volatility between the month of March and April. But ultimately, the goal is to hold. If you have anything within the 30s, you hold it until the Bitcoin halving happens in first week of April. Okay, so that's the plan there. Throw back to 30K post halving, and then from there we're going to slowly grind up. We're going to slowly make our way back up to new all-time highs. Well, that's not here. Let me try and make it more accurate. We're going to make our way slowly back up into new all-time highs, going into I would say sometime between September and October. All right. And then the market's going to continue to do something like that. Okay, so that's my plan for the Bitcoin market. And currently, we're going to look at currently where we're at now in the ascending triangle. Okay, we called this in my group. We're back at 48K, 42K. I called 41,250 in my group. I played it a little bit safer. Coinbase, for some reason, has a higher premium. I mostly play on BINGX. There's a referral code for BINGX. No KYC yet, but you do have to use VPN. I had my entry at 41,350, and if you're going off Coinbase's, I pretty much nailed it. There were some other really good market cipher traders that called it as well. So what we're anticipating here is a move back up. And this is for scalpers. This is for scalpers mainly. If you want to accumulate more Bitcoin down here, it's probably a good idea. But ultimately, we're going to copy. If you see the little orange box and red box we have here, we're pretty much copying that move. I love fractals, and we're basically going off of this fractal. We had this red move. All right, let me fix this. We had this red move down, very similar to what happened over. Very similar to what happened here. Accumulated a bit, higher low, broke out, hit resistance somewhere around here. Stair step back down. We hit this area of support again on the wick on the dot. And then we snaked our way back up, and I believe we are right here again. So I believe we do come back to the high again, and this is Bitcoin. If you've been watching enough of my videos, then you know what's coming next. We have to do the counts. This is going to be the one count. It takes 4 counts for Bitcoin to finally make a move, right? If you've paid enough attention to Bitcoin over the years, you know that's how it rolls. That's 2. I mean, do we call this 3? We'll have to adjust this in the future if that's not considered number 3. And then we're anticipating number 4 happens somewhere over here. Oops. We anticipate number 4 happens somewhere over here. Okay. So that's what we plan on happening. Worst case scenario, we can have something like this happen where we come down. So I have this little golden pocket area for this little zone. Actually, let's move this down a little bit just for the sake of, yeah, we'll keep it there. We have the golden pocket zone at 40,275 as a move down, as a deviation under the current zone. We have to come to expect a deviation, and then we can come back up here into our 4th touch, and then that's when we make our run to somewhere between 48,000 and 52,000. All right, so that's the plan there. As we've been talking about in the group the whole time, there's a direct incorrelation between Bitcoin and the US dollar, and the US dollar has been struggling since well, let's go back a little bit. It's been struggling since the end of October, since before the holidays started. And during that time, Bitcoin and the alt market has been absolutely just going nuts. And the whole plan was, I haven't updated this in a bit because right now it's irrelevant, or was irrelevant the past few weeks. We already knew where it was going. We drew out this channel. US dollar came back down to the 102.30 channel. Came back up and had very weak strength, probably because of where the market is at right now, and the Fed wants to keep the market inflated, to keep there from being a resistance, keep there from being a recession. And so the US dollar is going to struggle. So instead of it coming all the way back to this level of resistance here, instead of it coming back to this zone here, it just completely failed right there. It completely failed well before that and came back down to this level of support, and then it broke down the level of support within a few days. And this is the 8-hour chart. And if we're going to do an analysis, so obviously we broke the old resistance, and the next trend line we're looking for, let's just go to the 1 day. Now the next trend line we're looking for is actually down here at 99 or so, or at least support is going to be somewhere between, support zone is going to be somewhere between just about 102 and 99.4. And then if we go any lower, we're talking about 98. Okay, so there's still more downside possible for the DXY, because it just, even if you're using Market Cipher, we might have a move back up. And this is what I'm seeing. If you use Market Cipher, this is what I'm seeing happening. We might have a move back up, move down, and then a higher low, possibly. That's best case scenario. That's best case scenario for DXY. And we'll see something like that, bull divs on the bull divs on. So we have a, yes. So first, what I like to do, and this is how I operate in my group. Here, we'll just use this. We'll just use this. We have a lower low. What I like to look for is a lower low into another lower low into a lower high or a higher low. Okay, we always want to look for that first higher low, and along with that, you're going to see two bull divs playing out. Okay, you're going to see a div here, and then ultimately, one way or another, you're going to see the bull divergence in the oscillator, which is Market Cipher blue wave. And you also want to see these the RSI and the money flow coming up as well. Okay, so that's what we want to see on the DXY. We have to keep track of the DXY to keep track of what's happening with Bitcoin. And during this time in crypto, during this time, I believe while the US dollar is gaining strength, the US dollar, or the Bitcoin and crypto is going to be finding its a blow off top for this little mini, I call it the 618 bull run. Everything goes back up to its 61.8%. It's 61.8% mark in the market on the Fibonacci's. I'll show you here. And that's, again, that's somewhere between 48K and 52K. Okay, so it's important to watch the DXY in that sense. Total 2, it looks pretty much like Chainlink. If you, was that the weekly? A lot of the alts, they end up looking just like Ethereum, and the total 2. Total 2 is the market without Bitcoin. It's all the altcoins in one. And now on that point, Ethereum is broke out from its descending triangle, as pointed out by some good traders. And you see here, I had that marked out. I've had it marked out since October or so. Ideally, we're going to go somewhere, I think, for this current run, we're going to go somewhere between 28,000 and 33, or sorry, 2,800 and 3,300. I mean, let's mark out a golden pocket level. because that seems to be we seem to be hitting these golden pocket overextension levels very often now. So we might as well make that one of the most important levels that we're trading. Okay, we're gonna make it gold. It's the golden pocket. All right, so maybe $34,500, somewhere in that range, and then we'll see a pullback, possibly between my estimate, somewhere between the 382 Fibonacci level, and we retest the 2Ks again. So somewhere between 2,400 and 2,000. All right, so that's Ethereum. If you want, I mean, it's pretty much similar to Link. Link is part of the Ethereum ecosystem. It follows Ethereum, even though it's doing much. I personally think, and a lot of people share my sentiment, and we talk about it on the Discord group in the chat below, or it's in the link below. Chainlink's doing much more important work for crypto than Ethereum is. Ethereum brought us programmable smart contracts. Now Chainlink is bringing us programmable crypto, secure, programmable, encrypted crypto, and it's also bringing, its entire goal is to bring the traditional finance market into the crypto world. So I think trillions of dollars more are going to come into Chainlink than it will go into Ethereum, where it deservedly so. On the daily chart, we're looking at a ascending triangle. Market cipher wise, we have a divergence coming down. On the daily, I use the blue waves in market cipher more than I use RSI. I use RSI to show, the possible peak, and this is RSI here, RSI and stochastic, as the possible peak of a move before it possibly moves back up. The blue waves in market cipher are a much more defined way of showing where tops and bottoms are. Much more defined. For years, I was using the RSI as where tops and bottoms are, and there are times where the RSI, it continues to go flat, like right here. It's going up, but it's continually going flat on the daily, even though price is rising. So that just drove me crazy. It just wasn't enough for me. And now I found market cipher. So ultimately with Link, you're going to see a little downturn here. But if we go into a lower time frame, you start at a higher time frame, go into a lower time frame, let's say 1 day, 1 hour, you want to start to see a curl up, as we see here on the 1 hour, to signify that we are potentially coming to a bottom. Even though we aren't, we're still in all the other indicators. The green money flow is coming down. It's pinching down. The RSI starting to turn down as well. So we still may have some more downside, and that downside could be back to this range here at $14.50 if it doesn't hold. If we do get a curl back up, let's go to the 15-minute. If we want to see a higher low on the 15-minute to signify that we are going to have a bounce sometime soon. If not, we have to play the waiting game and wait for the lower time frames to show a bull divergence on price action, and then from there we'll be going up. But ultimately, we want to stay in this. Let's go back out to the 12-hour. Ultimately, I mean, it looks like more like a rising channel. It's more of a rising channel. Ultimately, we want to stay in this range. We want to keep making higher lows. We want to see this portion down here start scooping back up, and ultimately we want to buy somewhere around 1450. So that's it for Chainlink. Keep accumulating Chainlink, because we zoom out to the weekly. This is my #1 token. I probably focus too much on it, even a little bit more than Bitcoin. But ultimately, we want to go to $34. Let's add the let's add the golden pocket. You know what we're doing. We're updating the charts as we're charting. Okay. I always do that. It's third time. So after usually fourth time with me, I'll figure it out next time. I should have changed the color again. So we're looking somewhere between $34.70 and $36.25 for this move, for this current iteration in the market, and then a pullback somewhere between $23 and $16 or so. Before ultimately it'll be another video. We're going to do something similar to here. We top out here, we pull back. This is how I estimate where we're going in the market in the future, and it works. It works. I did this for Doge. I'm sure a lot of you have heard this a dozen times by now. I did this for Doge, and I figured we were going to 79 cents just by looking at past fractals in the market. So let's say this is at 2.0. Let's adjust it to what, 5, 6. Let's see what happens if we add. See what happens if we add 4. Too high? Yeah, too high. Let's say 3. Say 3.618. Usually it's a 618. Close enough. All right. Okay, so if we do the same thing here, we're gonna say we're topping out. We're gonna say our 1.0 is at, what did we say? 30. We're gonna say 36. We top out at 36. Bear with me. This is important information. We go here. We go there. Then we come down. Okay. Looks like we come down to the 232 according to the last fractal right here. We came down. I mean, let's just assume this wick isn't going to happen again. Link is much more important than it was to the world back then. Even though I saw it from day one, I bought it 32 cents and rode it all the way up to $54 in some case in one of my accounts. All right, so we're going to go back down to the 382 or the 232, and then now we're going to add in the 3 point, we're going to say 3.5. I always like to take a little bit off the top. And where this 5 can go. Oops. Oh, 3.5. We're going to add 3.5. This stuff is hard to believe at first, but once we're in a bull market, you're going to come back to this video and you're like, wait, what did he say? Where did he say we're going? I'll show you. Because again, we're going to go into September, October of 2024. We're going to start breaking new all-time highs on Bitcoin, Ethereum, the top 20 coins, and then the rest of the market's going to follow, including Link. And so low end estimate for me is $115. We're currently at $15. So that's somewhere near 7x or so in market cap. So that's the estimate for Chainlink. That I spent a little bit more time on it because it's an important token to me. It's going to be an important token to the market. All right, $115, $120 or so as the peak. Another coin I'm really into right now is Matic. Even though now I bought back in somewhere around 93 cents. Could have got a better dip opportunity. But oh well, we're looking for somewhere around $1.30 at this little peak. That would mean Bitcoin's going up with it as well. And I think we're going to accumulate here for a little bit. And then again, we're coming up to we're going to call this the golden pocket era. All right, this is not the 618 era anymore. It's the golden pocket era. Everything's hitting golden pocket. So we expect the same to happen for Matic. Matic, last time we went from last bull market, we went from what is that low of what, 4 cents in this same time in the market all the way to 54 cents. Okay, blasted off, accumulated for a month or so, and then 54 cents to a ridiculous $2.70. So if you held from 4 cents, understood what Matic was, a layer 2 Ethereum token used to offset the fees and the congestion on the Ethereum market. It was one of the first ones to do it successfully. And you held from 4 cents, you could have sold, you know, as it starts coming down, you could sell at any time. You sell most of your bag at any time. We got to drop down. Let's see what happened last time. It's gonna look crazy, but it probably did. It probably went to like 7.0 or something. But anyways, let's look at what it did the last time. So it went from 26 cents at this little bottom here all the way up to $2.70, and then it pulled back. We're going to expect to pull back to the 23.2 mark again before it takes off again. And so we can expect something similar to happen here. Okay, we expect a move up to here. Okay. And then we expect another move down to the support level somewhere around here. And then from here we expect, you know, over time, up into late summer, fall of 2025, we're expecting a massive rally. Let me try to give you what that number will be. It's going to be hard to understand at the time, but trillions of dollars are coming into the market, so you have to understand that this is normal. Okay, this is normal price action. This is about to be my it's 2024 10th year in the market, third full cycle. Okay, Matic is going to end up being, we're going to say what? Let's see what that does. Yeah, it's something crazy. Let's just say 8. Nope. We'll say 8.232 because I don't like wicks. They don't tell the full story. 618. It's, you know, speculation, exuberance, late entrance into the market, retail getting in and thinking it's going to go even higher, being told, you know, tokens, assets are going to go even higher, and then they get dumped on. So I don't like to include wicks. So we'll just say 8618. We add it over here, and we're going to figure out where we're going to go from here. Thanks for anybody who's staying into this, into this video. It's a lot of information, but it's very important. I know most people want the targets, but for the people who are here to learn the technical analysis and, you know, trade for themselves, the saying is, give a man food, you feed him for a day. Show him how to fish, you feed him for life. This is showing you how to fish. Okay, and if you ever have any questions, ever want to learn how to trade, hit me up and I can start a trading, a trading class, trading course specifically for you. Or I can answer any simple questions about market cipher, RSI, money flow, VWAP, all the indicators that I use. Okay. So if we look at the 8.0, yeah, we're on the weekly. Go a little bit under. Yeah, it's going to take a while to get there. This is if we have a similar explosion on Matic that we had last time. We're talking $22. I don't even know what that is on market cap, but that's how I figure out from the bottom of the market, especially the last market where we're going to go with specific coins. It worked with Chainlink, which was one of my main tokens in the last bull market that I accumulated, and it worked for Doge as well. So that's where we're going with that. Another last coin I'll talk about. You can find the other coins in my group. Another token that I am accumulating more of. I called this token at 3.25 million and went to 1.8 billion. I didn't hold all the way up, but I knew where it was going. And I also called the top of the market as well up here in one of my last videos that I'll try to add into this video. I called it somewhere around here, and now we're trying to call the bottom. The bottom looking like it's somewhere around just 0.0000 or 0.000125 or so, somewhere in this mush. You're going to get a bottom. Ideally, you want to get a bottom somewhere around the 78.6 mark. Okay, worst case scenario, you want to set some bids down here and then let those ride. But right now, it looks like the bottom, the local bottom seems to be the 0.12, and ultimately we should get. Where is the tool? Ultimately, we should get rounded bottom here, and then a move back up, and we're going to get a similar thing happening here. Okay, and again, what are we doing? What are we looking for? We're looking for bull divergences. Okay, we're going to get a bull divergence there, and we'll get a in price action, and then we're looking for a bull divergence in the oscillators. All right, while the money flow is coming back up. So right now, I would say an hour ago is probably the best time you could possibly get into bonk, as money flow is coming back up, and the blue wave, purple wave in this case, is looking to scoop back up. That's just a eyeball test for where we're possibly going with bonk. Ultimately with bonk, I think it's a Solana token. I think it's gonna. I've been calling it for months now, but I think it's gonna be the number. Well, it is. I called it already. It's just the first time I'm saying it on video, but I think it's going to be one of the top meme coins for Solana. Solana is probably going to be the #3 ecosystem going to the end of the bull run, and bonk will be the #1 meme coin. It'll probably be the top 3 market cap meme coin in all of cryptocurrency by then. If the market's going to 7x bonk, I imagine it's going to do SHIB or Doge numbers. If we say it's going to do Doge numbers, we're talking from the 1.8 top, 75. Doge did 75 billion last time, and Doge is pretty stagnant right now. I would imagine bonk is going to pull a market share of somewhere between 30 and 40 billion. All right, it's another 30x from. Was another 15x from the top of where we came, and probably another 30x from where we're at right now. So it'd be a good idea to hold a bag of bonk, and also buy it on Jupiter Swap. Look up Jupiter Swap. Jupiter Swap is they've already done 1 round of airdrops. We were given, let me show you. We were given an idea of how many tokens we got in the first airdrop for the people who were using it over the past few years. Specifically, if you were using Jupiter Swap to get Solana over the past few years to buy NFTs, and any of the NFTs that I was mentioning over the past few years as well in the last bull market, then you should be receiving some JUP tokens. Okay, so it's JUP.AG. And as far as finding out if you receive any tokens, that'll have to be another video. And I'll post the link in the description below for the actual website to find out if you've received any tokens. Okay, but they're doing 3 more rounds. So if you continue to use Jupiter Swap, continue to buy, swap Solana for bonk or Solana for Franc. Franc is another token I've been talking about. I've been buying up that token and buying up their NFTs. Look for that video in my video collection as well. Then you'll earn some of the next round. You'll earn some JUP tokens in the next round. And JUP token, dang it, what is the name of the swap site? Let me look it up. Or not the swap site. The site. What is up with the phone? That shows the price of the JUP app.avo.xyz. app.avo.xyz. Okay, so it has JUP already, and this is just the JUP IOU token, basically. You'll be able to see the price of the JUP token. It's currently at right now, and currently it's around 75 cents, and it's hit somewhere around 80 something cents, I believe, prior. And you can even come here and trade the token if you want. I guess we've hit 82, 83 cents or so. All right, so take a look at that, and that's going to be it for the technical analysis. It was a long video, but it was necessary. We are in bulls are in control. Even after we dip, bulls are going to be in control. You're going to start to hear people saying, "Oh, we're going to 12K." If you believe them, if you want, there are probably a few of you who believed a few influencers, saying that we're going to continue to dip. They did their part in the market. They pulled the psyops on the majority of the market to keep them out, and now a lot of people are going to rush in above 44K, thinking we're going to new all-time highs once the news starts talking about it, and they're going to get trapped into a long, at the very top of this market, and then you're going to sell. You're going to sell somewhere. Majority of people, 95% of people, are going to sell somewhere down here right before we bounce, because you're going to hear people talking about, oh, we're going back to 12K. You don't want to lose all your money. You're going to sell, and then we bounce somewhere between 30 and 38K. And then we continue to go up through all-time highs, and then you're going to get back in at all-time highs. That's just how the market works. A lot of misdirection, but don't be one of those people. Join the Discord group. Let's talk about it on YouTube. Let's talk about it on Twitter. Join the conversation. Bring some information to me. If there are any NFTs that are worth looking at on Solana, on AVAX, Phantom, any of them, bring them to the Discord group and we'll talk about them. That's what we're here for. We're here to help each other out. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Look at I'll have the links posted for this video in the description below. And if you need any new exchanges, decentralized exchanges, BINGX No KYC for now, coming from, if you're coming from Binance or any other exchange that makes you do KYC now, Bing is great. There are other, obviously, as I said, there are other decentralized exchanges with the liquidity. The links are below in the description below for referrals. All right, but check out my other videos. Like, share, subscribe. Send it to somebody who you think needs it, who needs to be ready for the end of this little run. And if they missed out on the entire move up from 15,000 up to 50,000, send them these videos. Tell them to get ready. All the proof is here. All right, thanks, and talk to you later.